We're here at CoinSummit with Micky Malka from Ribbit Capital. Micky, so what makes CoinSummit different? How's this feel compared to the other conferences you've been to?
I think it's the first one in a while where you get a lot of the venture community right next to the entrepreneurs trying to think about issues. This is not about embracing, talking about the future of Bitcoin, like it's going to be nice or great. This is much more about, okay, what are the business cases? What are the user cases? What's going on with the regulators? I think it's a hands down the first one where we are much more granular about the issues that matter and not so much about convincing each other of the potential that Bitcoin has.
So speaking about investors, you were one of the first, big investors to really get behind Bitcoin and actually just go out there on a limb and say, hey, I really support this. And you've done a lot for Bitcoin. As far as the other investors getting on board, is this timeline kind of like you thought it might be, or is this growing faster?
I think it's growing faster than I thought it was going to go. I didn't expect 18 months ago to see, 500 event people with 50 VCs coming in and trying to put money to work into companies. But it always happens. Things accelerate much faster than in the short term. People overestimate, then they are correct, and then they underestimate. I think we're overestimating short term, we're underestimating the long term.
Ribbit is invested in Xapo and Coinbase, is that correct? Are there any other companies that you guys have invested in?
We have invested in 5 different companies. We have announced only 4 of them. But we're investors in Xapo, in Coinbase, in BTC Jam, and we're investors in Pantera.
Oh, good.
Which is building the first institutional fund.
Right.
So those are the 4 companies that we've announced that we've invested.
Okay. So Micky, you were elected to the foundation board last summer. How's all that going? Is there anything new with the Bitcoin Foundation?
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the foundation. I think for the last 3 months, we've been in the defensive mode, not on the offensive mode. We've had a lot of bad news coming out of the foundation for lots of different reasons, from some of the board members, participants in activities, or just noise. And what I think is key here is that we don't lose track that the foundation needs to keep educating people, but it's not only their responsibility. We need the entrepreneurs, we need the backers, we need the developers, we need the VCs to be actively involved in talking to regulators, in talking to banks, in embracing the companies and the startups, because it's not going to be just, you cannot have a decentralized system like Bitcoin be commanded by a centralized entity like the foundation. And I think that's a message that we all need to capture and make sure that we leave CoinSummit understanding that we have to do more.
Is there a relationship between data and the foundation?
Not at the board level. I'm sure there are operating levels, but not something that I've seen at the board level, no.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Micky. It's good talking with you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me, Jered.